Hi, I'm not this gross looking, it's the lighting. Just so you know. So I figured I'd have a couple of new things to show you. And they include this adorable pot of rosemary that I actually got at a Wegmans. I'm still scared of going into those, but it's rosemary. I've been looking for this for weeks, and it looks so good on the counter right now. It just livens the place up, don't you think? That's bread. That is sauce that I've got going on. And I hadn't actually intended to tell you about all that, but it happened anyway now. Look, it's a dry leaf on the fridge. I actually had another one in the bread book that I was reading from the public library, but I figured I'd just leave it in there as a nice little surprise for the next person who checked it out. And it was got, ooh, unless it fell out when I dropped it into the book drop. Hope not. And other things. So, this is where my laundry is. Can we see? You can watch that, and then it stops. And it like comes out of the track. I'm not sure how to fix it. I'm not sure what the problem with it is, why it's doing that. Because the track looks fine, the wheel looks fine, so I'm not sure how that's going. So I just put in a maintenance request, and we're going to see what happens. So I'm just going to close it the little bit that it can be closed, and move on. Yes. And moving on involves, what's my handy-dandy Word document say? Rosemary, check. Animal Kingdom. I had this thought, I was just thinking, at one point, woodpeckers stand on trees really weird. They must have a really good sense of balance. And that's kind of all that was about. Here's a picture now. And so I guess for my fact of the day, in my seminar, I had a seminar yesterday, on a Saturday, yes, but it's the only time we'll ever have to meet again. But I was, the professor made a point of saying, don't call the wee ones kids, call them children, because kids are goats. And it, I don't know, I mean, I've recognized in the past that kids is a mutual term for little goats and little humans, but it never occurred to me to be a slur. So, curious, I looked into it. And so what I've got is that, you know, because I just thought it was just a regular, it's a regular part of life now. Life now is just language evolution. Well, in my research, I found a couple of sites where people were like, don't do this, but they were mostly either religious people or people who were like 60 or so. So, old crotchety people who don't go along with language evolution. Sometimes I don't either. But at this point, it's gone enough. It's ingrained into society enough that it's just part of it now. This one I'm not fighting. So apparently the word itself comes from the Middle English word kid, or the Old Norse kid. I don't know. You pronounce this better than I do. Both meaning young goat. Then by 1599, it had branched to referring to human children as well. Possibly a la their mutual rambunctious playing styles. Not entirely sure. Nobody really knows. And then to continue on the word's meanings, by 1811, it had started to become used as like a hoaxing and tricking people sort of thing, you know, in the thieving world. Then by 1839, it had sort of mellowed out to be a general teasing, you know, so, you know, kidding around. So, I mean, other places looking into that use of the terminology, maybe they use the word kid to mean that they were playing off of, you know, treating someone like a child, maybe? But it's just one of those words where we know that it's evolved from things, but we're not entirely sure why or when or how or where or any of those, Mr. Rudyard Kipling and your 5 starving men. So, that's what we've got. And yes, so I've been not doing homework all day. I've been cooking all day. Cooking and laundry all day. And dropping off books. So, I mean, I've been productive, which is good. And cleaning. Well, most of the cleaning was yesterday. And now I'm babbling. So, I'm going to put this up. And then I'm going to start homework, I guess. And then have dinner. My flatmate went home for the weekend. She decided like 2 hours ago that she was going to go home and then come back tomorrow night. So I'm already lonely. So yes. I have my cup of tea and I will cheers you. Ha ha!